Alright guys, welcome back to another Discovering the Collection video where I, Sean Redmiles, the director of the Falkirk History Museum at the Old Jail, go through our boxes of our collection and show you guys what's inside. So this week we're going to do kind of a chronologically themed day because on November 22nd, 1909, the Great Warrenton Fire burned through this place, and so we're coming close on the God, what would it be now? The
112?
111th anniversary, I guess? 112th?
12.
112th, yeah, you're right. 112th anniversary. And particularly, this is a good one to do, guys, because we have original photographs of this fire that were given to the Society a long time ago. We have some stories that we could tell later on. So this will be a couple week series, I think. But I really want to show you guys these photographs. So first thing, just to kind of set up the fire, it started on Ashby Street out at Hayloft. No one's exactly sure what started it, but you could probably guess it was a lantern or something that fell. Maybe someone threw a cigarette in there. Those were probably. I mean, I should mention actually real quick. Maybe people don't know this, but Joe, you are a firefighter. Do you want to say where it is that you do your firefighting?
Oh, I work in New York City, and I learned all about the fire when I been cut through coming down here, and it started right where Red Truck is now, on the back of this jail. Jail was spared, and then burnt towards Winchester Street.
And this dude commutes to New York City, guys, and lives here in Warrenton. That's just to point that out. We also have. Do you want to, Karen? Do you want to be mentioned? We have another firefighter here. This is Joe's partner. She is also a firefighter in Loudon. Yep. Loudon, right? Yep. And so it's pretty cool to be talking about fires with two firefighters. So if you guys have stuff about fires that you want to mention as I'm going through this, please do. So yeah, he's right. It started on Ashby Street. You guys know particularly where it stopped because it stopped right about at your house on Winchester Street, which is pretty crazy. So you guys have one of the last remaining structures that wasn't burned in that fire. So actually, let's start with that. This is a photograph of Winchester Street right here.
Yeah. So this is looking from pretty much the library would be right on your right.
Yeah.
You can see the burnt ruins of Carter Hall right there.
I mean, your all's house is likely right in the background.
And
the cameraman was.
The fire stopped where our block begins.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see the remnants of Carter Hall, just like Joe said there. Carter Hall, a version of it still exists today. I think it's like offices for something.
It's a law office. Yeah.
Law offices. There you go. But look at the debris, guys. How utterly destructive this fire was ultimately. And it's important to note that some of that debris is likely because they realized that in order to stop the fire, they had to dynamite buildings in its path. Because what was feeding the fire were the timbers of these houses. And as long as there were more houses for the fire to burn, the longer it would continue to go. So there's actually a crazy story, I'll tell real quick, of a guy who was tasked with burning up one of the houses that would have stopped the fire and did ultimately end up stopping the fire. He had the fuses, the dynamite, everything, and then he realized he was missing the one fuse that he needed upstairs, and that if he didn't have time to get up there before the fire was going to get to the building. So he lit a match and he threw it at the gunpowder, and he just said to himself, I'll just take the chance that I can get out of this basement in the amount of time it takes for that explosion to go off. And almost like straight up, next week I'll read you guys the quote because it's an incredible quote from the Baltimore Sun that talks about this instance. It was like a movie of where the explosion happens and he's sort of thrown 20 feet out of the building onto the ground, and apparently, according to the newspaper, he's completely unhurt from it, and he got out by the skin of his teeth, which is pretty amazing. Yeah, so a heroic effort. We'll have his name and we'll have more of the story next week, but we just wanted to do photographs today.
Teaser,
exactly. This is another shot of Carter Hall. Also, I think roughly looking from Main Street.
Yeah, this is more from the traffic circle on like Alexandria Pike Courthouse Square.
Yeah.
So all this right here, this is where the current Fauquier Bank is now. This used to be all houses really close together. I believe the firehouse was right around here as well.
Yeah.
It was right on the corner.
Station and everything. Yeah. They didn't have water.
Which is funny because that was a well. Well, it was the traffic circle, is now the yield sign.
Yeah.
The public well ultimately failed them in the end, and they ran out of water to fight the fire, which is why they turned to the dynamiting to prevent it from continuing.
And it also allowed them to upgrade the water system after this. It was part of that.
Guys, I thought we had four. I knew we had 4 photos, but I realized that these 2 are duplicates of ones that I already showed you guys. So I want to show you guys the ones that are.
Look at all this debris.
The actual other really cool ones that we have. They should be somewhere in here.
Carter Hall.
If they're in another
Remnants
box, then
of
we'll just call it a
Winchester.
teaser, and I'll show you guys those next week. Yeah, but they should be in another. They should be right here somewhere.
They're somewhere in there. In that box is a bunch of pictures.
For the jail. Oh, here we go. Here's a good one. So check this one out, guys. So this shows our jail in 1909. So if you haven't seen this picture, it is a famous one, so some of you guys may have seen this. But if you haven't seen this picture, you can see the side of our jail building, which was spared from the fire because of the prevailing winds that were pointed in the direction of Winchester Street rather than towards the jail. So you can see everything to the left of the jail is almost completely destroyed and in rubble.
So this is from the perspective of the building behind Red Truck.
I think that's, yeah, exactly.
And it'd be through Red Truck, so you're looking at the back of the jail.
Yep.
You can get the California, I believe that's the California building right there.
Yep.
Courthouse.
It's like
and
Ashland
then
Street-ish, kind of. Yeah.
remnants of that, which isn't Carter Hall. That's something else.
That is Carter Hall. Yeah.
That's Carter.
That's how
No,
much-
that's too close.
Let me see.
Because that's where the library is now. That's not Carter Hall. Because look at your
Let's do some
angle.
comparison. Let's do some comparison. Check it out. What do you think? Oh, maybe it's not. I don't know.
It's too close.
I mean, everything's destroyed before.
That's
So
true.
that could
Maybe.
be what,
Maybe.
This was in all of these pictures. This is the only thing that remained upwards. So it could be possible that like the buildings you're describing that should be there were gone.
We're gone.
Gone. I don't know. We'll have to do more research there because I'm not 100% sure. But what I love about this, guys, is the smoke, the steam almost from the
Still heat
fire
coming up.
still coming off the ground from this incredible inferno that just obliterated.
After 1901
the
fire,
area.
looking from back of Prez Warrenton Supply Company.
Yeah, that's the depot. The one that they built right after that is still up today, like the carriage works and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Which is probably where the fire roughly started from that version of the carriage works. There is one more, guys, but we'll save it for next week. Actually, there's two more. There's a really great picture of another part of Waterloo Street, and then there's a really good picture of the Episcopal Church, which was burned down. So we'll save that for later. But for now, guys, it's going to be a quickie, but look for our post on it on Facebook. I'm going to write a pretty detailed post with some of the stories that we have and some quotes from them. And more pictures. We'll come back to these two and talk about them.
And we'll do a box next week on it.
And we'll do a box next week on it, guys. So thanks for coming, and we'll see you next week.